Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell Podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. Pleased to be joined by Hartland Hockey's own Ben Pouliot, as well as Hartland's hockey captain. How's it going?
It's going great, Casey. I'm glad to be on and get have the chance to talk to you.
Yeah, man. It's been a good year for you guys. Obviously, you guys played in some pretty good hockey games. I know Friday didn't work out as well as you wanted, but
hmm
but overall, it has been a pretty good week for you guys.
Yeah, so we had two big rivalry games this week. We went in with Stevenson first and came out with a big dub, and then we went into Friday against our biggest rival, Brighton. And honestly, you couldn't have asked for a better game. We wanted to come out with the win, but we'll learn from it, go to practice this week, and we'll get stronger.
Yeah, it's I think a lot of people don't know if because it has been a while since you guys lost to Brighton. I think it was like 8 years.
hmm
So the thing is it's like, I know last year it's been 11 years since a county team beat you guys, and then of course the Brighton one ended as
hmm
well. But overall, I mean that game could have gone either way.
hmm Yeah, 5-4 in overtime. It was back and forth the entire time, but the streak, they broke our streak, and now it's just time to go to battle. And once playoffs come, if we see them, we'll hope that we're on the right end of the stick.
Okay, so I know you got some big games coming up, a lot of opponents that you're going to be playing in the next few weeks.
hmm
Where are you guys at as a team right now? Because you guys are real. Because I know early on it was some tough games. I know when you went up to the last time we talked to you, you of course just embarked on a UP trip and got beat by a pretty good Houghton team,
hmm
which has been, if you haven't seen what they've been doing,
Yeah,
they've been
they're
doing a
good.
lot of fun stuff. Of course, we had Camden Markham on a few
hmm
weeks ago, but overall, where do you guys think you're at this point of the year?
I think we're in a perfect spot right now. Even coming off that loss, we are us taking a step in the right direction. And even this week, we got Marquette coming down, and we have history with them from last year in the semis. And every game from here on out, either way being a league game or just a showcase, because the Big Trenton Showcase is coming up, it's getting us ready for the playoffs. And once playoffs come, it's win or lose. So every game and where we're at right now, we're in a much better spot than we were to start the year.
Okay, so let's kind of evaluate yourself a little bit.
Okay.
Um, what is one thing? Well, actually, two things that you want to get better at in the next few weeks.
Okay. Two things that I want to get better at. I think that I want to get the younger guys on our team a little more experience and just a little better in the bigger games because we'll need them when it comes to that playoff crunch time, kind of like in the Brighton game. Maybe if we had better experience, we would have won that. And I want to obviously it's a tough one, but I want to win more games than we lose. Definitely.
Okay.
Mhm.
Um, what do you feel like that you've gotten better at and this is just obviously we'll talk about the team goals in a little bit, but just you yourself as a hockey player, what do you feel like you've gotten better at kind of
Mhm.
from the either from the leadership standpoint to the or just the skill on the ice as well?
Oh yeah, I think that over the summer I took a step off the ice in the weight room, and I think that's really helped me go on the ice and become a faster skater. And I think that me being a faster skater, it has really honed all my skills together and made me a more complete player and helped me score more goals this year and help other guys score more goals.
Yeah.
hmm
Just you've got a lot of pieces around you. How much did you think that how long did you really take for everybody to kind of get to know each other a little bit? Because I know because obviously there's a lot of veterans on this team, yourself,
hmm
Isaac, Braden,
hmm
Lucas, um,
Yeah.
and then, but there's a lot of younger guys on
hmm
the team as well. How long did it take for you guys all to mesh together as a team?
Yeah, I think we had a just a little bit of a struggle at the start, but give it 2, 3 weeks, everybody gets to know each other. We got a lot of guys coming in from different places, but it's just that atmosphere every day at practice, going into every game is a battle. And I think now as a team we're meshed more than we have been ever, and it's at the best time. It's January. It's getting to playoff time.
Yeah. So let's I know you said you got Marquette coming up, and I know you got the MIHL Classic coming up, as the showcase coming up as
Hmm.
well. Kind of preview the next few weeks for you guys because playoff time will be right around the corner.
Oh yeah. So this week we got Marquette on Thursday, and if you followed us last year, we had a big semifinal matchup with them last year, and they're a very dominant team. They play hard and fast, and then after them we got a league game with Salem, and if you know, Salem's been a team to watch out for in any game. They almost beat Brighton. And then once we go through them, we got the MIHL showcase and we got Byron Center, who's undefeated this year. They got a lot of good pieces over there. And we got St. Ignatius from Ohio.
Yep, of course, that's Cleveland St. Ignatius for
Yeah.
people who might not be familiar with Ohio high school hockey, and they are
Hmm.
very good.
Oh yeah.
So, what's it going to be like to play a team like that? And obviously, you don't want to overlook somebody, but you've
Hmm.
got some good teams coming up, and of course, got to see Byron Center a little bit when they came to Howell, but
Hmm.
overall, that's a solid team.
Hmm. Yeah, so obviously Hartland and Byron Center in the recent years have had a lot of history dating back to 2021 when they beat us in the quarterfinals. And last year we beat them in the quarterfinals. But seeing them being, I think they're maybe 19-0 right now, it's going to be a test that we need. And it'll show us that you got to beat the best to be the best.
Yeah. And of course, as you know, if anyone's haven't heard or lived under a rock, Hartland has moved up to D1 this year in hockey along
Hmm.
with Livonia Stevenson. The divisions have kind of realigned for this season. So, of course, and of course, as we get to districts, as the season as you're kind of in that stretch where you've got a lot of solid games coming up, but
Hmm.
the postseason's right around the corner. The
Hmm.
next few weeks, what do you feel like you guys need to do in these next few weeks to get to where you need to go?
Yeah, so in the next few weeks, as a team, we need to take another step. We have to be on another level than all the other teams. And even if that's by getting in the weight room more conditioning workouts, but on the ice, if we can all come together as a team at the right time and get our forecheck going and track back what it should be, scoring goals, having fun, then we'll be in the right spot once that first playoff game comes.
Fun times in Heartland again.
Hmm.
So do you feel like let me say that you've played a lot of talented teams so far.
Hmm.
Who's been the toughest team that you've played? And you played like, the Catholic Centrals, the
Hmm.
Hopes, you're
Hmm.
playing Byron Center later in the year. But
Hmm.
who was the team that really impressed you the most?
That's a very tough question because I think there's three teams that have definitely impressed me the most. And that's not knocking off any of the other teams we played because we played a very tough schedule, but definitely Brighton's such a rivalry game that they're always up there. But I think right now it's between CC and Houghton, just because CC's got more depth than anybody, and they've been tough all year. They're undefeated, and the other team's got to be Houghton. They have a top line that's just unstoppable right now, and it's going to be fun to watch those two teams play. But any of those three teams, you could even put Stevenson up there. But any of those three, they're definitely the toughest.
Yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
Um, and of course, you guys have got. Let me ask you this. I don't know if I've ever asked you this, but how do you get ready for a game like
Mhm.
going in like on the road, bus
Mhm.
rides, kind of
Mhm.
explain the road process for maybe um, people that might not know. Kind of take us behind the curtain a little bit.
All right, yeah. So for me, I'll just take you through like an away game for Heartland and for myself. We're at the rink probably 2.5 hours before the game because we gotta get on the bus. But I'll get there probably 2 hours and 45 minutes before the game and just get my bag packed. And I will not take my stick until I get to the rink. That's one thing that I like to do. But I'll get my bag packed. Everybody will have our team meeting in the locker room before. We'll load the bus, and then on the bus, I'll be listening to my music. And I sit by myself, had the same seat for 3 years now. That's one thing that I try to take superstitiously. But we'll get to the rink and we'll get changed in I'll get changed in my warm-ups and I'll take my stick. We'll warm up and then before you know it, it's our team meeting. We're going right on the ice.
For sure.
Mhm.
Okay, so let's go inside your head a little bit.
Okay.
What's during the bus ride, what's Ben listening to?
Um, that a Boogie with the Hoodie, he put out a new album recently, and so that's probably been my go-to right now.
That's I'm not that we'll just leave it at that.
Yep.
Um, is it just like, do you just look out the window? Do you try to, visualize, shut your eyes or something, or like what are you doing?
Definitely, I'm usually shutting my eyes a little bit, just visualizing, but I do look out the window. It kind of just helps me clear the mind and just get ready for the game and just focus on one thing, which is winning the game.
Okay. Um, it's just like, I mean, you know, going into going into these games and what's like one of like going into these other places and stuff, what's it like just going on the road and playing something? Is it
Going on
just
the road.
every other game, or is it just is it different?
No, every place is different because every rink has a different atmosphere. You can go one place and you'll be playing in front of 2,000 fans. You can go another place and be playing in front of 500. But that really doesn't change the fact that you're there to win the game and take care of business. But definitely a lot of different atmospheres out there, and you'll see that if you head to different places.
All right. And then just lastly, playing a having a team come down, because usually it's like the teams come up to
Mhm,
this one's
mhm,
coming down to
mhm.
you guys.
Yeah.
How exciting is that to have Marquette come down all the way down to Hartland?
I think it's awesome. I haven't had a UP team come down and play us at Heartland, so it's definitely going to be just like flipping the switch because you'll see us going up there and they're coming down here. I don't think it'll be a good test for not only us but for them too, and it'll be a fun game.
All right. Well, Ben Pouliot, thank you so much for coming on and talking with us, and best of luck in these next few weeks. And we'll definitely have you on again in a few weeks.
Awesome. Thank you, Casey.